This wannabe kick streamer is now fleeing to America from Toronto with $6 to his name after clips of him being awful to his dog on stream went viral, leading to him being doxxed and exposed. Now, he's living out of hotels, off of subscriptions and donations while live streaming himself, essentially ruining his own life.
Monkey business day.
You're definitely doing good.
Giving the subs a high IQ and base speed.
Someone give me $20 Canadian to buy Tinder Platinum, bro. Someone PayPal me $20 Canadian to get me Tinder Platinum, bro. Someone, I need Tinder Platinum. Damn, please.
I feel like the only way things can get more pathetic than that if he begged for money to sub to OF girls. But this dude almost exclusively streams himself doing impressively stupid and awful stuff. I guess his only problem is this is just the first time it's gotten him enough attention to where he's essentially been blasted online and actually got the police involved. So it's safe to say he couldn't handle the heat because he hasn't been home since then.
There's only two choices. Stay here, get an apartment, or pay my rent and go back to Toronto and then come back after I get shit figured out. There's two options. Stay here, try to find an apartment on Craigslist or something, and then, or pay my rent, go back to Toronto, even though there's nothing for me back there. Like, there's literally nothing for me in Canada. Like, there's nothing.
But let me introduce you guys to Lil Dealy, a scummy kick streamer who recently started getting attention online after someone uploaded a compilation of him hitting his dog and threatening his own life to Reddit. And this is what this guy claims he came up off of.
Well, that's my thing. My thing is punching the phone. That's, you know, you have your thing that make you different from everyone else. Me is crashing out, punching my phone, spitting on my phone. This is my thing. This is my thing to stand out. That's my thing. Anyone try to steal that? I started that. I started punching the phone. I'm the one that started spitting on the phone. I started that. That's my thing. That's my thing.
Yeah, this unique individual invented hitting his phone and spitting on his phone. Okay, I can't believe this guy's real. Also, his Canadian accent is insane. And while researching this video, I was even on call with a bunch of Canadian friends of mine, and they even gave us permission to laugh at it due to how insane his accent was. But on October 15th, a Reddit user named ChemicalAD6151 warned people of Lil Dealy's awful behavior towards his yellow lab, Peaches. These horrifying scenes included clips of him kicking his dog's metal crate with her inside, threatening to take her life after she took a dump on the floor, and smacking her in the face and body when she barks. And if this is what he's willing to stream on his Kick channel, imagine what he's doing when the stream is off. Obviously, I have to be extremely careful of what I show here, but it's not good. And his reaction of his dog going to the bathroom on the floor becomes even worse when you realize that he's forced this dog to stay cooped up in this tiny Toronto apartment for days at a time, rarely taking her out for bathroom breaks or exercise in general. Like, if you just take this 21-hour-long VOD of his Rumble account, for example, Dealy doesn't take Peaches out a single time. And on top of that, the only time he's feeding her is when he gives her a slice of Domino's pizza. Hello? And then he spends the rest of the stream hitting a bong, playing music videos on his TV, and then complains about having no friends. Dude, I wonder why.
One hell of a mix.
Third piece, you get the first piece.
Girl, I'm still get wishes that
Theater popcorn for what? With each bite, you will feel more lonely.
Yeah, well, by myself, popcorn by myself, you know, no one to watch a movie with, no one to go out with, no friends to go get with, no one to go to the club with, no one to drink with, no one to talk to. No, I'm just, my life is.
So he's not only just being awful to his dog on stream, he's also openly neglecting her basic needs as well, and possibly every one of these painfully long streams. He's hitting her, feeding her fast food instead of actual dog food, and essentially hotboxing his apartment when the dog is sitting there right with him. And it's not like they're in a big space. But like I said previously, he is no stranger to streaming himself doing horrible stuff. It's kind of like on brand for him to have a temper, which I guess could be okay on its own, but not when there's an animal or another human involved in the middle of it.
That says, oh man, not this song, turn it up before you jump.
I just broke my microwave, bro. I just broke my microwave, bro.
But still, I mean, these clips were disgusting enough by themselves that they immediately started going viral, and the internet tracked Dealey down almost instantly. There were tons of YouTube videos posted about the situation with millions of views between them. People started doxing him and his address, as well as contacting the Toronto police and local animal rescues, hoping that anyone with some kind of authority would step in and remove the dog from a clearly not good home. But as soon as all this went viral, Lil Dealey literally fled the country with $6 to his name and Peaches panting in the back seat, running from consequences and hoping to partake in Ice Poseidon's scavenger hunt, as if that event needed more degenerates.
I did hear that some guy is flying or like driving here from Canada and he has $6 in his bank account. I just want to throw that out there. If he's coming, nobody has any excuses, you know?
I'm sure he thought that winning the scavenger hunt would be his golden ticket and that would just solve all of his woes, even though he probably would have just blasted all of that winnings on Tinder Gold.
Transmission oil temperature indicator. Oil temperature. Smells like oil, it does though, yeah.
But since he clearly didn't win, it now seems like he's going to have to start selling off his vape teas if he wants to continue living out of motel rooms or face the music back home. Because even though he's apparently out of money, he doesn't seem to be in any rush to get back to his apartment in Toronto. So I wonder why. It could be because Toronto police are allegedly very aware of him. With all the attention on him, newcomers entered his chat and begged him to surrender his dog wherever he was. People even offered money to exchange for her, although who knows how serious they were, and at the end of the day, Dealey didn't bite. But someone did, however, pay for him to buy actual dog food, while others threatened him about returning to Toronto or frankly showing his face anywhere. But Dealey was just amping up his affection for Peaches, constantly deflecting and denying that those awful clips were even real.
Yeah, that's some water. I know you still got water. You're just spoiled.
And then on top of that, he also claimed that they were edited.
Think it's not edited? Oh, you don't think he cut out the part? So when you think I actually told I was serious when I was telling my dog I was going in GTA? You think I was serious there? These kids actually think I was serious when I was saying I was going. Oh my god! If you actually believe that, you're brain dead. If you watch the full clip, you'll see what I said in the clip. I said, look, my dog don't understand anything I say. My dog doesn't understand English. I'm like, watch this. Look, and I spell there. Look, I'll do this. I'll put it in the ear.
And honestly, it's pretty common to see kick streamers, and my initial reaction is, how are they not banned yet? But I guess they just don't care about people being complete degenerates on their platform, even though it makes Kick look terrible. But I mean, ultimately, the dude's still alive. He still has Peaches with him, and he decides his next move on the fly. So who knows what will happen next?
Dealey, all your hard work is finally paying off.
I'm not good winning myself.
And even though the story exploded on social media and people are still working to get this dog removed from him, to this day, he rarely streams to more than 100 viewers. His content is literally so bad he couldn't even capitalize off the negative attention and pander to some brain-rotted middle schoolers. And I guess what's worse for him is most of the viewers he does have just spends their time taunting him with text-to-speech, hoping to get him angry, which seems to be pretty easy once he starts drinking. Essentially, it's just the same type of audience that we see most of the IRL streamers we already cover have.
What are you talking about? I got what are you talking about? I got no one in my life. What are you talking about? Who the did I talk to? Oh! You
Dealey, I feel bad. I'm going to stop.
And in fact, most of his streams end up something like this clip. And recently, he's screaming at his chat more often than not. It seems like that's really his only social interaction right now, and it's sending him down an even more concerning path.
I got nothing. Put on your mom's leg. Put on your mom's leg. I'm legally allowed to have it. I'm legally allowed to have it in my building, in my condo. Dumbass. I'm legally allowed to have it. Legally, I have my license.
But I guess, at least in his old clips where he would threaten people, there was some sort of IRL friend that would try to at least talk him down instead of just egging him on.
Yo, brother, are you recording? Yo, don't. I'm just asking, are you recording back? I'm telling you, bro. What? Yo, wait, this guy's recording right now. I'm a live streamer.
But it's clear though, when you start going through more clips like this, you realize what we're seeing is currently just like the surface of Dealey's temper and violent behavior, because as he becomes more desperate for money and views, it's concerning to think that this in fact might even escalate. And honestly, I have no clue where his family is in all this. I would definitely be worried if I were them. He has mentioned that he is in contact with his parents and siblings, and even if they were willing to help him, Lil Dealey seems unlikely to accept anything from them anyways.
I don't want to ask her, but you know how bad I'll feel, bro? One of my number one pet peeves in this world is me asking people for money. That's one of my number one pet peeves.
Says,
me asking someone for money like that I know,
makes me feel
like especially
so
my
much
parents
better
or my
about
my
life.
sisters or anyone like that.
But clearly, the dude has no shame. And he does insinuate that most people back home have rightfully labeled him as a dog abuser. So that could also be contributing to why he does not want to come back to Canada or even get back in contact with his family or friends.
I know it's just, like everyone in Canada, like everyone on my friends, everyone in Canada thinks like I'm a dog eater. It's insane, bro. It's insane. Every single person I know thinks I'm like not knowing I'm the homies, but like everyone I know that's not my homies actually thinks I'm a dog eater, and it's so.
So I guess for now, he's stuck begging his viewers to Venmo him so he can stay another night at a shitty motel and not have his card decline next time he buys fast food.
What the, bro? Like what? Bro, that's impossible. Like, look, I got like $150 in that. Ain't no way.
After going through all these clips of this guy, you really do reap what you sow. This is crazy. He can't fully disclose his location since there's likely people trying to find him either to rescue Peaches or just settle a beef that he started with his chat, and he certainly doesn't want to go home to his now very public address. You have something to say about his dog Peaches? What do you think, buddy? So where does Dealey go from here? Well, he's streaming himself living in America with no job beyond panhandling for subscribers and no intentions of going home. It, unfortunately for him, feels inevitable that someone's going to take that dog from him, whether it's lawfully or just by physical force, because there's like a whole internet clique trying to track him down and find that dog. It's like an online Saving Private Ryan, but for his dog. If he stops paying rent in Toronto or wants to move to Florida like he says he does, we have to assume that he will at least have to go back and get his stuff. And let's be real, if he does do that, people might be waiting for him, and people obviously know that he's coming back, because I guess he just can't stop live streaming himself crash out for like 18 hours every single day.
I'm not running. I'm American now. My bank is switched. Everything, like I'm done. Like I'm not a Canadian no more. I'm American. I'm not a Canadian anymore.
Obviously, he claims he's American now. What I did not know is apparently if you are half Native American, and he claims that he's Native American, you have something called the Jay Treaty rights. And that essentially just gives you free passage throughout Northern America, which is something I basically just learned right now. So all he has to do to get into the US or to be able to work in the US is prove that he's Native American. Good for him, I guess, but to me, it doesn't seem like this guy is emotionally, mentally, or financially stable enough to properly take care of his dog, because he forces Peaches to live under these same horrible conditions as him, and she suffers as a result. And he's clearly awful to her for the behavior that's his fault, and still does not feed her a proper diet. Who in their right mind will starve a dog all day and then give him a slice of Domino's pizza? What? And again, all of this is just being live streamed for the entire world to see, hence why there's so many people that are worried for his dog. And this has got to the point where these clips are being viewed by millions of people now. But it's also evident that multiple police departments have been notified about him, as well as multiple animal rescues. Plus, Dealey will now have to answer to rent or bills or a random run-in with someone who recognizes him soon enough. So either way, there will probably be an update on this story, and hopefully Peaches ends up in a safe home soon. But I mean, hey, at least he's not facing a decade in prison for threatening to bomb an anime convention over an energy drink like this woman did, because that's just a crazy story that I would heavily recommend checking out. But other than that, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.